I mean, I'd assume. I feel like that whole fantasy genre is kind of like an odd thing because when I was younger, I would tell myself, like, it's so hard to get that wrong. You know, like, how could you get it wrong? Like, how'd you get elves wrong? Like, they like, you literally can Google elves, look at like 3 pictures, and you're like, I know what an elf looks like now. Hello, and welcome to the Recon Roundabout 91st podcast. Today is episode 3, and of course, as our special guest, like we usually have, is going to be Tig. And always, we have Loki on my side as the co-host. Tig, if you want to just say hi and kind of go through and introduce yourself, and kind of what Tig is about in the 91st.
Yeah, hi. Tig. I am a TL for Monke 1-2. Loki just this past week joined me as one of my 1-2 boys. And yeah, I'm in a couple of C shops for us. I do some work for C3 and C5. That's me.
Awesome, and I know that we explained kind of like the C shops before, but like, what, for people who don't know anything about Star Wars, how would you tell them what Monke is? Like, how would you explain what that you guys do?
Okay. Yeah, so if anybody has ever watched Star Wars, like the Episode 3 Revenge of the Sith, there's that scene where the 212th with Obi-Wan Kenobi jumps in, and a bunch of them are wearing those funny-looking bucket helmets that I absolutely adore. Those are airborne troopers. They do all kinds of fun stuffs. Monka is similar to those airborne troopers, but we are jump troopers. So our suits aren't pressure sealed. We don't do anything in vacuum. But we have jetpacks, and we jump around all over, like buildings, rooftops. We can jump from low orbit. Even we could jump all over the place. We do hot drops and halos, hey-hos, whatever you want to call it. We use our jetpacks to get elevation and to get from elevation down. This is it's pretty fun.
Yeah. So, jet jump. Is there a difference between a jetpack and a jump pack, though?
Yes. So we do now have jetpacks. We had jump because they would only allow us to go up and then back down. But now we have what I would consider to be jetpacks because we can fly vertically and horizontally. We can go. We can probably. I think the farthest that I've ever covered is like 7 kilometers in a single.
Okay, so you actually
leap.
have like movement.
Yeah, and we
Okay.
can go pretty quick. We can go about as fast as one of our Varactals, which is a small car that can carry about a fire team's worth of people, and it's like a very tiny baby version of a Humvee.
That's funny, actually. Because I saw a couple of the higher ups in Monka. When they were like testing those out, when they just like continuously burn, so you just see like a black cloud just kind of like pooting around with them.
Yeah. We get a little black cloud whenever we're moving, so we call it the fart cloud, and we crop dust Kyber and whoever is below us all the time.
That's funny. You know what? Speaking of too, Loki, how do you feel about getting into Monka? Like, was that your original plan?
For the longest time, of course, I wanted to try and do Jade, but then as time kind of more progressed, I think I just fell more and more in love with Monka and what they did. So yeah, kind of just feel at home now. Like today was a lot of fun with our operation. Like, I felt pretty useful, and like Monka's used, like Tig said, like we had a moment of time where we spotted an HVT, and so I literally just hopped on over, took the HVT, and hopped right back. Like, we get stuff done pretty quick because of our maneuverability. He was like in some high ATC tower on an airfield, so I ran over and grabbed him. But yeah, I mean it's fun. I mean everyone in Monka knows each other and everyone pretty much vibes with each other.
That's what's up. Yeah, I know. I always love hanging out there, and congratulations, of course, to Perry, because I believe between our episodes there is a lot of easy enough to explain updates with people's movements. Because so between episode 2 to now 3, we have had a pretty big rotation. Because first platoon, I think a lot of the guys, not a lot of the guys, but what is it? So Snapper, Lear, Zetor, Orange, Samuel, Sound, and you, Loki. You guys all got in, but a lot of those guys came from first platoon. I rotated
A lot
from
of them
second
specifically
platoon.
came from 1-3.
Yeah, for some reason, I think that it was definitely a big group of friends that were all yeah, let's do this together. I'm sure. And I mean, I'm happy that Lear got in, because I know that he's kind of been looking for a change of pace when it comes to, the unit. Because he was in first platoon's medic slot for a good chunk of time. So I'm kind of happy that he actually found, a new home. And I think he's happy, too. He seems pretty excited to get after it. But even, I mean, on top of that, you have, of course, promotions that came out. Congrats to everybody that got promoted. And I actually think that I'm in line to be promoted next. I'm looking forward to that because CP is a big jump. It's a big change.
Yeah, CP is a huge jump. Yeah.
I mean, the responsibility just gets bigger and bigger and bigger. And, hopefully I can, move on and up. I'd love to, so we can see where that takes us.
Yeah, there's not that big of a difference between the CP, which is a clone corporal, for those who don't know, and CS, which is clone sergeant. But there is a very big difference between CLC, which is lance corporal, and CP, which is corporal. So that'll be awesome for you, dude. Congratulations.
I know. I'm looking forward to it. I don't even know what to do with my helmet next. Gosh, I haven't even really given it any thought. I probably should. That's not
red.
Trust me,
Yeah,
I'm
red,
still designing
more
my
red.
helmet with CSP rank now.
Have you
I don't
put
know what to
anything
do.
on your helmet?
I just have Loki's sigil, his Viking sigil on my cheek, and that's all I have right now. And of course my button is, I believe, it's the Marvel kind of sticker of him, my button, since the boys who do our helmets, their tradition is to always find something relatable about you and put it on the button. So yeah.
Yeah, well, dude, so I love Warhammer, and I forget who originally did my helmet, but they put the AdMech symbol on mine. So I was really looking forward to that. Yeah, Tig, what about you? Have you spent a pretty good chunk of time on your helmet?
Yeah, I actually just submitted an update for it. Changed a bunch of the gray and black around for red now that I'm a sergeant. But yeah, I love my custom helmet. I've had it for a while, and I just updated it, and I'm very excited.
Oh, I do see that. I like that, actually.
Yeah.
We'll keep that up on screen too for a second for anybody who just doesn't know Tig's helmet. But no, I mean that's cool. Yeah, you want to just explain it for a second? What about it do you really like and all that?
Yeah, give me just a second. I'll pull it up.
He's got Chick-fil-A and I think a Destiny 2 logo, and I don't know what's up with the.
Tig, you play a lot of Destiny 2?
I played a lot of Destiny 1. That symbol is the hunter symbol from Destiny 1. And I like to say that Destiny 1 saved my life because it was a rough time for me, and so that's why that's there. The Chick-fil-A, I work for Chick-fil-A IRL, and I absolutely love my job, so chicken. And then the other symbol on the left side has also been there since I first did my first custom helmet. That is the symbol it's the Fett clan. And you know, we're clones. We're all Fett's sons, so bam, there's that.
Fair enough.
And then most of the red on it was gray, and now it is red because I can do as much red as I want now.
Yeah, simple.
And then the Arabesh on either side. One side says my girlfriend's name, Eloisa, and the other side says courage and strength, because that is.
Oh, that's dope.
Yeah.
Yeah.
that is like a close to heart helmet. I feel like there might be a lot of people like that just kind of like see designs are like that's awesome, but I definitely think that yours has like a special meaning. So that's cool.
Yeah. The 4 tiers, by the way, that's the original team of 4 that I joined Gark with, and they are all no longer in Gark. So my headcanon is that they are dead.
Yeah, that's fair. That's a fair thought, because I believe when we had a couple of the higher ups leave, there was somebody, I can't remember who made it, but they made like a have a good retirement like 3D photo of their like helmets and guns and stuff like that. Yeah.
It was that was paid to see that.
Yeah. But it was like a good like send off, you know, because I mean, Jesus,
like
when
I say
for
pain,
years.
it's like sadness because they left, but like happiness for them that they're on to bigger and greater things.
You know what? Speaking of the helmet customization though, so there's something about airborne that I've always kind of been like interested in, and I know that you're not necessarily like airborne troopers, but a lot of you guys wear those like diagonal lines. Is that something that you can automatically get on your helmet when you join Monka, or is that just something like a tradition of like you just put it on when you can?
What diagonal lines?
So it's like 2 lines on like the top side of your helmet.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, shoot! I should have done that. Gosh dang it! No. Okay, I'm gonna talk to Lear about doing that. But yes, that is a airborne thing. I totally forgot about that. Thank you.
Is that a free space that you guys get?
No, it is not.
No,
but,
okay.
But if you look down right below us in TeamSpeak at Qual, he has a little symbol where you can see what he's talking about, Loki. But yeah, that is just it's something like I was talking about earlier. The 3rd episode of Star Wars: Revenge of the Sith. Every single 212th Airborne Jumptrooper had that symbol on their helmet, or had those 2 lines on their helmet.
Yeah.
So I know most of Monka has that as well.
Gosh, I mean, I think in all of our airborne guys, like, I mean, I know I might have mentioned in the past podcast, but like I came from the 101st, and I'm pretty sure a lot of them do too, and everyone I've seen.
Yeah, and I know that all of the 212th Gark unit that like is a Gark unit, I know all of their airborne has it. That's a part of their helmet naturally.
Oh, really? That's cool.
Yeah.
I wonder what the lore behind that is. I'll have to do some reading on that. I mean, you know, and speaking of,
it
like,
looks super dope.
Yeah, I mean, it's cool. I've seen it custom armors when they have like the lines on the armor as well. So it has to mean something crazy. But you know, going into the depth back of like what Monka is and like how you are, you're lead in Monka, but like why did you pick Monka? Because I know I asked Loki, you know, and he's still quite new into the situation. But like you've been in Monka for how long?
Months. It's months. I don't know how long. Months. Long. Since at least January.
That's fair. I mean, that is a good chunk of time.
Yeah, it's at least 9 months, I think.
I mean, that's how long I've been in the unit.
Months.
I'm pretty sure, like 8 or 9 months. Yeah, because I was in the 101st and I joined literally at the beginning of the year, the 91st.
Okay, yeah. Wow. Okay, yeah. But yeah, so Monka opened up. And originally it was just 3 people, the 3 leads of Monka. One of them, Falcon, is no longer here, but he left it to Cross and Mauser, who are still here. So it was Cross, Mauser, and Falcon, and they opened up Monka to the rest of the unit. And I was one of their first people. Perry was as well. Perry and I are the only 2 remaining of that first draft. And Freyr. Freyr was, Perry, Freyr, and I are the only 3 remaining of that draft. But we joined. The reason that I joined, I just joined as a fire team member. The reason that I joined was because I was trying to get a comma. So I was at the same time that I was trying out for Monka, I was also trying out for a team leader position in 1-3. And I was also trying out for Jade. Literally for no other reason than I wanted a comma. I didn't care about the jetpack. I didn't care about the DC-15C. I didn't care about the people or anything. I just wanted the comma. And I got it, and then I met the people, and then I got to use the DC-15C, then I got to use the jump pack, and I fell in love with all of those things. And so now I don't care about the comma anymore. I'm just in Monka because of the people, the guns, and the jetpack.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, so since we're on like that lead position, so essentially, do you want to go through kind of like the clone trooper to the highest up kind of like structure? So like in Monka, you guys only have your like detachment, right? Like it's just Monka.
Yeah.
Okay, and then Monka is split between. How do you guys break it up? Actually, like how do you decipher who plays weekends? Do you know?
Yeah. So it's actually very simple. We have 2 teams for Monka, and it's just the same as the 2 platoons for Kyber. So we've got 1-1, which Monka 1-1, which they are attached to Kyber 1, Kyber first platoon. So they play ops on Saturdays, and then we've got Monka 1-2, my team, which is attached to second platoon, Kyber 2. So we play Sundays, and Loki is also with me now in Monka 1-2.
Mhm.
And then we have so it's Perry as 1-1 team leader, and then me as 1-2 team leader, and then it is Mauser as our detachment executive officer, and Cross as our detachment leader. One day in the far future, we might have an NCOIC, but that would be far future, and that would come with us opening a 3rd team for 3rd platoon.
Okay, I got you. Yeah, I mean yeah, okay. So you guys operate like just like kind of we do. That makes sense. But how do you guys break down your leads the same? So like you have your team lead, which is in charge of kind of like everybody, right? As far as like the team is considered, or is that opposite?
No, yeah. So the interesting thing about Monka is basically roughly the size of a squad. Like we're a very chunky squad, very big squad. But there's a reason that we call them Monka teams instead of Monka squads.
Right.
I am a team leader. I'm not a squad leader. My billet is technically an SL position, which is why I'm a sergeant. But I am only in charge of 5 people total, like myself included. In that.
Okay.
And Perry is the same. Perry is only in charge of 5 people. So Cross is the leader of Monka. Cross is like our squad leader, and then each Monka team has a medic embedded in them. But we're teams, which is why we have that extra 5th person instead of just being 4 people. We are a fire team.
Right. So for everybody that is kind of just like lost on that situation, for normal like general infantry, so like Kyber for instance, Kyber 1-1 operates off a squad leader, a squad medic, and then team leaders for Alpha and team leaders for Bravo. But with Monka, it seems like even though they're seeing it as just like one squad leader and then 2 team leaders, it's still kind of operated like the leadership is kind of a, how do you even explain that? Because the leadership is a little bit more like they put more responsibility on you to be more of a squad leader, even though you're a team lead position.
Yeah, that's exactly what it's like for us. So I have all of the responsibilities that Skit as 1-1 for Kyber has. I have all those same responsibilities for my people. I do their promos. I do their billet, unbillet. I handle squad training for my team, all that jazz. Same thing that all of the Kyber squad leaders do. I do.
Right.
And then Freyr is my 2IC, and for Perry, Lear is his 2IC.
Okay.
And so kind of the team leader job. So going back to 1-1, Skit is the squad lead. Avalanche is their alpha team leader. Freyr for me is Avalanche for Skit.
Right.
that's not like a huge thing because we are only 5 people.
Right. So it's smaller leadership, more responsibility. I mean, it makes sense, I guess, because it's like the detachments in themselves kind of force you to be a more responsible person. So
Yes,
I can understand why they like put a little bit more on someone that in like 1-1 would be considered like lower side of leadership.
Yeah, something that's said to every person who becomes a squad lead and a team lead in Kyber, and every member of Jade, Monka, and Ranite, regardless of if they're a team lead or not, as well as Nova and Beskar, basically to everyone else in the unit other than mainline infantry, is that like you are a face of the unit, not the face, but a face, and so be on your best behavior. People are streaming, people are talking, people are watching. Make sure that you're doing the right thing.
Yeah. Well, like, what about it made you want to be a lead? Like, why did you want to get into that kind of responsibility too much? Because I feel like, as much as like I know you wanted to comment all that stuff like that, but like, why a leadership? Because I know a lot of people might see it as like daunting, you know, because it is like a responsibility. Because like, at least from my side, platoon medic has doubled the responsibility of what I usually had. Because like on top of trying to do like my C shop work now, I have to like manage people and have like difficult conversations. And like, were you kind of like prepared for that going in? Because I really like didn't think it was going to be as serious as it was.
So I might not be the best person for that question. I'm a manager
Right.
in real life. I'm a manager at Chick-fil-A. I'm a director. And I was on track to becoming a platoon lead with the Army. I am no longer doing that for multiple reasons. But so like I've always been trying to put myself into leadership positions. So it wasn't a big step for me. But the reason that I wanted to be in a lead position, I set goals for myself. So like originally my goal was the Kama, and then I met that goal, and so then my next goal was dual pistols. Because we have that. We can do that with Arma. We have a part of our mod pack is that we can have 2 pistols. And so that was my next goal. Right now, I don't have a goal because I've met that goal. And I now run around with 2 pistols all the time. And it's a lot of fun. But I'm looking for another goal right now. But the reason that I became an SL was I wanted 2 pistols.
Yeah, that's fair. Gosh, I wish I had two pistols. It's always cool to see it. Like really I always see some people. Do you guys get to use any other special weapons, or is it just the same pistols that you would see like normally throughout like the troop?
For Monka, we have a very limited arsenal. And so our pistols are the same that everybody else is using. And we are also basically only allowed to run rifleman and support. So that's our light machine gun, and sometimes grenadier. And we can only have 1 disposable rocket launcher because we have jetpacks. So if we were given sniper rifles, then we would be able to get up on top of a roof, and elevation with a sniper rifle is the big thing. So it's a little bit of a balancing thing.
Yeah, I get that.
Yeah. That is the reason behind it. I kind of do disagree with it because I want my people to be as effective as they possibly can. But that is the reason that we are a limited arsenal.
I can understand. Well, like, because so something that I think I've learned, especially just kind of gaining experience in the unit, is like, you know, just because you can doesn't mean I guess you should. Is kind of like a weird way to describe it, but it is like, you know, just because you can do something doesn't mean that that thing should be done, because it's like you have so many other people that are playing that you have to like think about. Like, because like, gosh, I got into C2 and like I've been trying to like formulate things, but like when I think of A, I have to remember B, because like if, you know, you guys are doing something, I have to think of like Nova, or if like Kyber, then I have to think of you guys. And so like I've really come to realize how like it's never as surefire as just go here and do that, because there's too many like working parts or moving parts, I guess.
Yeah, exactly. So like we as Monka, we could clear most of the objectives on the map if we were given all of the guns that everybody else has access to. Yeah. But we can only kill 1 tank during an entire operation. So we need Kyber and Nova and Beskar to deal with heavy armor, and we can deal with light infantry.
Right. Yeah, I mean it gives content to like everybody too, but
Yeah.
you know what? Circling back on that, you said you're in the army. Are you comfortable kind of going into that more? Or?
I was just a cadet, and so I did 4 years of training and then decided to quit because I wanted to work with Chick-fil-A instead. I make more money now as a manager at Chick-fil-A than I would as an Army lieutenant.
Don't blame you.
Yeah, and so like I got all the leadership training that the Army can offer. Not all of it, but I got a lot of it.
So you were Army. You weren't like National Guard.
No.
Okay, big.
No. Just a cadet. Just a cadet. Not active or anything. I did get paid, but I didn't do anything.
Okay.
Ask any military person. They will say that I did not do a single thing, and I agree with them. I did not do a single thing.
Yeah, that's fair. No, I was
all
just
that
curious.
I did was go to classrooms and field exercises, stuff like that.
That's fine. Yeah, I mean, gosh, when
it was fun.
I tried to join the Marine Corps, and I got through a little bit too, and like I'm like deaf on my right side, like I said, and I perforated my eardrum, and it sucks, dude. I was so ready to like try for a recon contract and all that crazy stuff. And then and then I was like,
yeah, I am partially deaf on my right side because of artillery cannons and rifles, and yeah.
Not service related.
Yeah.
Apparently not. No. Also, since I was just a cadet, I cannot retire from the military, even medically, and so like I was just a cadet, but I have knee problems from wrecking because I was a cadet for 4 years, so I was wrecking about 12 miles a week, and I stood next to artillery cannons while they went off, and I was sitting in a Bradley while it was firing off, and I shot a lot of rifle rounds off, and so my right ear is a little iffy. I'm not deaf, but it's a little iffy.
It's one of the few things the military could definitely tweak a little bit about themselves.
Yes.
Yep.
Yes.
I hear the same complaints from veterans.
Oh god, everybody.
My dad and literally everyone on the planet.
If you talk to Scorch, if you ask him any question about his service, Scorch is the leader of our unit. It's hi Dad. I don't know if you listen to this. If you do, then
he does. I mean, he's said a good job on almost every one of them so far, so he does. No pressure.
Yeah, if you ask Scorch about his service, then he'll tell you about the different ways that he's been broken.
Word.
and yeah, so yeah.
I knew.
My dad too. If you ask my dad,
I knew a guy. Yeah, get him on here. Yeah, go get him. Call him right now, and we'll ask him. No, but I had a buddy of mine. He was in 10th Mountain, and he says that it was as cool as it was. Sometimes it was a terrible experience. The other half. Like, it literally was like, you're either doing cool shit or it's the worst thing ever. And I'm like, okay, that's fair. Because, like, apparently he, like, gets, like, stuck in the snow for, like, months when he does, like, training and shit. And I was like, God.
Yes.
It sounds horrible.
I experienced that. Not for months, but for weeks.
I mean, honestly, days even would really suck. You imagine being stuck with low...
Yeah, also, like, one other thing, like, it has ruined my ability to go camping with other people because people are like, hey, do you want to go camping? And I'm like, yeah, sure. And then they go to a cabin, and I just, it hurts that they're calling that camping because I've been in, like, in like, sub-freezing weather for weeks at a time just with a sleeping bag. And that's it. Just me and my sleeping bag. And it's like there's like 4 feet of snow below me. So like it hurts when people say, yeah, let's go camping, and they're like in a camper or in a cabin.
Right. Yeah. I mean, gosh, I couldn't. I'm sure it'd be the same exact thing.
Yeah. Like I bring my sleeping bag and I'm like, let's go. And then I see the cabin and I'm like, oh, dang it. But I do enjoy camping in a cabin.
I do too. You know what? I mean, I hiked Appalachia, like 100 miles, and that was a pretty fun experience. That was probably the first time in a while that I actually slept outside. Yeah, Jesus, that was a surreal experience. But anyway, going towards I know it's a terrible transition, but last night I just like was thinking about this too. So a couple buddies of mine, we were all sitting in Discord, and we turned on the first episodes of Rings of Power. That is interesting show.
Controversial.
Yeah, the controversial is hell. And like it literally like every 10 minutes we were like, what the fuck is going on? I mean, granted, we didn't spend any real time watching it, so like my opinion is very skewed because we would like watch like 5 minutes and then like skip, so like we definitely didn't get the whole thing, and I probably should go back and just watch all of it. But have you guys seen it?
No, and I'm not going to on principle.
Sorry, I was keeping up with the conversation, but what's the title again?
Rings of Power, the Lord of the Rings show that Amazon's coming out with.
No, I haven't kept up with it at all.
Yeah,
I'm a huge Lord of the Rings nerd.
Me too.
And,
Me too.
and like Tolkien wrote so much, and they decided to do their own thing, and that bothers me.
Yeah, no, it does here too. That's why I don't. I'm not. It's just like with the new Game of Thrones. Like, everyone can agree. Like, I fucking me personally, I love Game of Thrones. I watched the whole thing, fucking 5 times over. But the ending was a little just like, what? And with the new thing, House of Dragons coming out, it looks okay. But I don't want to put all my feelings into it and be like, yeah, this is gonna be good, and then like possibly be disappointed or whatever. No, I feel that's
smart.
Because it's not the same writer or director as it was for Game of Thrones either. It's a different person, like totally.
Yeah, that's very smart to not word of advice for everyone that I did not do with Rings of Power. I put my emotions into Rings of Power, all negative, but like don't put any emotion into any show before it has come out. Like it's just not a good idea. I don't know who needs to hear that, but just don't put emotion into shows until they're at the very least out and you know that they're something you like.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I didn't watch that other like Game of Thrones. What is it called? It's not Game of Thrones. It's called fucking.
It's like House of the Dragons.
You know what? I heard that was okay
like
because if you liked Game of Thrones, like I've heard all my friends watch House of Dragons or whatever, they said it wasn't bad. I mean,
it's not bad. Yeah.
Rings of Power might be different, but as far as like House of Dragons goes, I feel like if you like Game of Thrones, you'll probably like Rings of Power.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe, yeah, probably.
I mean, I'd assume. I feel like that whole fantasy genre is kind of like an odd thing because when I was younger, I would tell myself like it's so hard to get that wrong. Like how could you get it wrong? Like, how'd you get elves wrong? Like, they like, you literally can Google elves, look at, like, 3 pictures, and you're like, I know what an elf looks like now. And, like, same with, like, dwarves. Like, how can you get that stuff wrong? And all of a sudden, like, you watch these fantasy shows, and you're like, okay, I know how they get stuff wrong. Because...
yeah. You said, how do they get that wrong? And I wanted to say, Rings of Power said, hold my beer.
No, I mean, truly, I think that it's just kind of, like, a weird thing. I also think I don't really like Amazon, like as a company. So like when I heard they were making it, I was like, I think I'll be okay. I think I'll make it. But yeah, I mean, gosh, I hope they make another game or something. Do you guys remember that Lord of the Rings game that was like Battlefront, but with like Lord of the Rings? You ever played that? Yeah, you know what I'm talking about.
I know what you're talking about. I knew they came out of a mobile game.
Isn't it called Lord of the Rings Conquest?
A lot of Lord of the Rings games, and usually they're pretty decent.
Is it Lord of the Rings Conquest? I think it is. Where you just play as like a normal soldier. Yeah, that was busted.
Yeah. That was a long time ago, but yeah. Oh my gosh, yes.
I mean, they do make a lot of good like on-topic low-tar games. I can't really knock them.
Yeah, I think so too.
But I mean, speaking of games and stuff like that, though, we do have the Last of Us show coming out from HBO.
Yeah, and Fallout.
Is that made by
There's so
HBO
many
too?
good things coming. I don't know. When you said that, like Last of Us, I remember the other fucking game they're trying to make. Last
even-
of Us has from what we can see from behind the scenes, it's got some good potential. Like
I think so too.
cinematography wise, it looks like it's gonna be good.
Well, like
Now
Pedro?
story wise, I wonder if they're going to
Recon.
keep it closest to the game, because like we can talk about the movie Uncharted. Like when they made that, me personally, I'm a fucking fit. I love Uncharted. And they kind of did the movie a little dirty, but it wasn't awful, but they could have done a little bit better about it. Like the dynamic between like Sully and Nathan were just it was a total opposite. Nathan's known to be more of a thief. He always wants to, kind of he's trying to be that good person and also try to get rich. But it was Sully that was kind of taking that role of Nathan. It was a whole thing. Anyways, I'm just hoping they don't like I'm hoping they know how to make sure the personalities still match.
No, I get it, because I think that one of the biggest things about it is like if they don't, the story could be really good, but I feel like if the personalities aren't there, I feel like it'll kill the game.
Yeah,
Or
yeah,
movie.
exactly.
Because excuse me, sorry. Because like you have, gosh, Pedro Pascal as Joel, and I feel like in the beginning Joel didn't really care about Ellie, but you can in the game. I think it's not the most obvious thing, but if you're like watching, you immediately can tell when he starts actually give a shit about her.
Yeah, because I mean, in the game, she was just a job, and then
Right.
his partner in crime died, and then he's like, well, this is taking a really long time to complete this job, and so they started learning things about another. She learned that he lost his child, and she's kind of, funny enough, filling that spot as his kind of child, and yeah, the game really did a well thought out like personality and traits between both of them. They just they connected well.
Tig, you play The Last of Us?
I actually did, yeah, and I loved it. So I'm excited about the HBO series. I hope it's good.
Yes.
I'm really butthurt that it's a PlayStation only. I mean, I played it, but I heard that they were making a remake of it with like the engines and stuff that they made The Last of Us 2 with, and so I'm like crying over the fact that I can't play it because I heard the remake is supposed to be
I played it on PC.
Yeah, so what happened? What's happening is that Sony is taking the engines from The Last of Us 2 because like obviously it's like updated, and they're adding like the guns and stuff like that from Last of Us 2 because it's kind of just like, as far as that's concerned, like opinions on Last of Us 2 be damned, but as far as the engine is concerned and the gameplay, if you were just like clay characters, The Last of Us 2 plays better. Like the executions, the killing, the sneaking is all
Oh my god,
better.
yeah, gameplay wise, that game was
Yeah.
like it broke a lot of companies. Like, whoa.
Yeah, like they're doing the most. But my thing is though is that what's happening now is that they are basically bringing that into The Last of Us 1's story. So they're trying to like combine the two. And granted, if you buy that game, forewarning, it is the same exact fucking game. Not exact, but it is the same like story. Like all of it happens the same. They just remade it so the guns and the actions that are made are different, So just forewarning, but I think I'm gonna buy it if I can get my hands on a PlayStation 5 because I mean, dude, buying a PlayStation 5 right now might be the fucking key. Because I don't think Sony's gonna capitulate onto giving up the new games anytime soon.
No, like what? PC just got finally Spider-Man.
Yeah. Which
Oh
came
my
out,
god.
what, 2 years
God
ago?
forbid. God forbid how many whoa, is it statistically 1,000 mods came out after an hour of Spider-Man being released? Oh
Yeah.
my god. Some of them funny and some of them of course
Messed up.
yeah.
Yeah.
We'll say messed up and keep this family friendly.
Yeah, save everybody. If you want to look it up, man, that's not our fault. But yeah, I've seen some bad ones. But Dude, like I just feel like God of War. Oh my god, the God of War one. What's his name from GTA? Ugh, I can't remember his name, but he's from like the old GTA. They immediately put him into God of War. They made like the Snake Thomas the Tank Engine. Like mods is so funny, but like God of War as well. Like the new one coming out, I really want a PlayStation 5 for because I really want to play that fucking game.
Yeah, Ragnarok was
Like aggressively. It's gonna be amazing. But
I know a lot of people still want to play Ghost of Tsushima.
Ghost of Tsushima is fucking awesome.
I actually just got done with a full 100% on my
Really?
console. Oh, dude, I
That's
fucking
money.
Ghost of Tsushima has like ruined RPGs in like a good way for me. It's just like that game is so like you can step anywhere and it's just cinematic. It's just you really just soak in all of that atmosphere around you. It's just that game's so damn good.
Do you have a PlayStation, Tig? Are you keeping up with what we're talking about?
No, so I am keeping up with what you're talking about, but I have an Xbox that I don't play on. I pirate my games.
Oh, for sure. Yeah, fair enough. I mean, hey, man.
The FBI are about to come knocking on your door soon.
Who cares? Who cares?
That was somebody else joined the VC and said that, and then left. Yep.
Yeah,
that was
he pirates his games on
Go after
Minecraft.
Smig.
He pirates
Go
his games
after
on
Smig.
Minecraft.
No.
It's all on Minecraft, guys. Don't worry. Not real.
Yep, Minecraft.
But something that I really actually appreciate about a lot of that stuff, though, is that, granted, it takes a very long time to come out. I'm really glad that Sony's kind of held on to stuff like that. I feel like games or game companies have kind of moved away from that. But that's like an odd thing. Like, I know that it takes 2 years to make a game like that, but spend 2-3 years making a game like that. Because Spider-Man sells like a motherfucker. I mean, I played it all the way through, and I thought about buying it again just to play it all the way through again.
Mm-hmm.
It's an amazing game. I can't wait for Miles Morales to come out too, because I'm gonna buy that as soon as I see it on Steam. The thing is getting purchased. Same with the other PlayStation games. Like I don't know why they don't. I think it's kind of a dumb decision to keep it away from like at least computers.
Well, here's the thing. It's all about marketing. So just like what you said earlier, I'm gonna buy myself a PlayStation. That's it. That's it.
Yep,
That's
I
the
agree
whole
with that.
marketing
Yep.
scheme. They want you to be hooked onto their product, And I've been a PlayStation kid ever since I grew up, so I've never had problems with it. Just like I never got to play Halo or Gears of War, and I still haven't played Gears of War. I recently got to play Halo 2 summers ago because I got my PC finally or whatever, and I played the shit out of that in MCC, the Master Chief Collection. Of course, 5
Yep.
isn't a part of it, but people said, I'm not missing out on much, so I was like, okay, cool.
You're not.
No.
That is not a controversial topic. You're not missing out on much.
No, but
Yeah,
you know
yeah.
what, dude? I have to appreciate it because you know what? I appreciate 4 and 5 more now that Infinite is a thing.
That I can't.
Yep.
I can't argue with that. Yeah.
Because you're like, hey, you want to play
4
Halo
and
Infinite
5?
or 5? I'd be like, let's play 5.
Let's.
5 is a good game.
I liked it. I do kind of like it.
No, I didn't mind the multiplayer. I had a lot of fun with it. It was just different. I wish that
but-
Halo Infinite succeeded more because Halo Infinite had that like Reach, like gear vibe.
Oh yeah. No, dude.
Yeah.
The amount of people that first started trying to play it was phenomenal. They were doing so good, and then they didn't take care of their game enough, and so it just people got burnt out because there's not. It's just that there's
Hey.
no more content after that.
Be honest, Tig. Did you buy the battle pass in the beginning?
No.
Oh,
No.
fuck, I did.
The only battle
I'm
pass
stupid.
I ever
That's my
buy
bad.
is for
I'd be
Valorant,
buying that
maybe League.
The
We don't talk about
the
League
reason
here.
that I don't buy the battle pass is the same reason that I'm not watching Rings of Power.
Principle.
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 The battle pass is a young man's thing. I am not a young man.
Yeah, you're like 40 to 50.
Something like that.
No, dude, but I
Cut that down by half.
I'm stupid as fuck because I'd be
Closer.
buying that shit. I'd be buying that shit regularly. I don't know why I lie to myself enough because You know, I see battle passes and like honestly, like even I'm gonna take another hot take here because I talked about Fortnite a little too much last podcast. But their battle pass and Call of Duty's battle pass is like actually like at least viable. Whereas Halo Infinite was like, hey, yeah, you have 6 months to complete this, and you're only gonna get about 150 XP every day. So go for it, bud.
Yep.
And like, at least if you're gonna make one, just let me use it, man. Shit. I don't know. I don't really knock it too much because I guess it could be better, but. Yeah.
I will say that Halo Reach was the last good Halo game.
Yeah,
And
you know,
like 4 wasn't bad. 4 was pretty decent, but it was obvious that they were trying to figure out what they were doing. And then 5, they figured out what they were doing, and it was the wrong thing. And then Infinite, they tried to do something better again.
Well, like,
and so Infinite is like going back on the right track, but it's not quite there yet.
I think that time skip wasn't a good idea either.
Yeah, I agree.
You know, but I have to say at least 4 and 5 from like a writer's point of view has created so much lore. Because like the Spartan 4s are a fantastic idea as far as like stories are concerned. Yeah. And like dude, the Infinity, right? That's what it's called, the ship.
Yes, super base.
Is a fucking brick shit house of a thing. And like the fact that it's fucking massive. I was looking it up yesterday because I was just like looking it up because I was reading an outline to like another story, and it's 18,000 feet long.
Yeah,
that is fucking crazy. Yeah. Like, you imagine seeing a ship 18,000 feet long. I looked up 18,000 feet, and that's halfway outside of the Earth's atmosphere.
Yeah,
like that's fucking insanely long.
Yeah. It's humanity's first super carrier. Yeah. You know, like the Covenant have like several super carriers, but like that's humanity's first, and I love it. I absolutely adore it because
it's fantastic, dude. The fact that it can shit out 10 other ships, fucking phenomenal.
That's my favorite.
Fucking phenomenal. Yes. Fucking phenomenal. It creates its own fleet in not even 10 minutes time.
Yeah. Like by just deploying them. Yeah. It's like, I love it. That scene where it like comes out of slip space and smashes through a Covenant ship with its shields.
Fucking amazing.
Like, it make like that.
Then you actually have to play the game. But when you but when you watch those cutscenes, like Spartan Up cutscenes, fucking awesome. Watching Spartan Force get into hand-to-hand combat with like elites and stuff like that, I was like, yeah, fuck yeah.
So now that being said, Fireteam Majestic and Palmer are some of the worst written characters in all of Halo.
I agree. I agree.
Like, no matter how much I loved Spartan Ops, because I loved Spartan Ops.
It was a good idea.
Like, Palmer in Spartan Ops was pretty decent. It's Palmer in the campaign that I'm like, what'd you just say to the chief?
Where did she go in Halo Infinite, bro?
What?
Did she die?
Oh, actually, that's a good point.
Because Halo Infinite is still, like, lineage-wise, it takes place. She's just gonzo. Because there's that new chick. I don't know her name, but she's, like, in charge of everybody now, and, like, I don't know what the fuck
after
that is.
4, my guy. Like I said, I got to 4, and then people kind of just told me to stop, and I was like, all right.
That's fair, yeah. Hey, welcome to the Star Wars podcast where we talk about Halo.
Yeah. We talk about Halo, Last of Us,
Warhammer, fucking who cares? Fortnite.
Rogue One is going back to theaters. If you want to know that.
Why?
That makes sense for Andor.
Why? For Andor.
Oh,
it's
fair enough.
Andor.
Was Andor in Rogue One? Is like that a thing?
Andor is the time period around Rogue One.
Oh, okay.
It's before Rogue One. Yeah.
Before Rogue One. Yeah.
It's between Republic's Empire and Rebellion starts in full swing, because like the Andor is like a rebel agent before Rebellion is really like in full swing. Because Rebellion isn't in full swing until they destroy the first Death Star. Not really.
You know, speaking of big ships in Star Wars, what is the biggest ship in Star Wars? Like lore, not extended, but was that Imperial ship? Like the fucking
Executor class Star Destroyer,
that really long one, you know what I mean? That gets like knocked into the other ships.
The
ship. Do you know what I'm talking about? Yeah.
God, we're a bunch of
the
nerds that can't
Darth
think of that
Vader's flagship might be. Well, I mean, there's the Death Stars, of course.
one.
So before anybody goes into the comments and starts actuallying us about like the Death Star and Starkiller Base, like let's clarify, we're talking about like actual ships, not planet-destroying weapons.
Yeah, but
But-
dude, I mean, but listen, the Death Star can slip out in and out of hyperspace. So is that a ship?
Yes, the Death Star is technically a ship.
Okay.
I will say the Death Star is a ship, and I will also say that Starkiller Base is technically a ship. But like let's say like not the Death Stars or Starkiller Base. What's the biggest ship in Star Wars? Hang on, I'm curious.
It has to be that Vader flagship. That like, what is it? It's like. God, what
That's
is it
if
called?
we're not counting what's it called? Extended Universe.
No, but you're never gonna see that. So I guess no. Actually, in theory, extend
actually,
as far as it goes, it's that First Order ship.
the Supremacy.
Yeah, that got
I just
fucking
found that, yeah.
sliced in half.
Yeah, that completely broke all fleet combat in all of Star Wars. Because why wouldn't you just get a massive chunk of rock and strap a hyperdrive to it?
We're not getting into that. We're not doing that. Yeah, we're not doing more of that.
Why are you gonna spend billions of credits on the Death Star when you can just get a hyperdrive, strap
Rock
it to a big
hyperdrive.
chunk of rock, and
Rock
send it
hyperdrive.
to the core of a planet?
They should have had you for the rebels.
Yeah, honestly,
You would've
dude,
been a good
dude,
space terrorist.
I
if
would've
you're
been an
around,
incredible rebel.
you'd have been fantastic. Or you know what? Yeah, I mean, hey, they might.
One of the so 4 years of training as a cadet. One of the big things that I learned is how to be a guerrilla fighter. It's great.
How to be a monkey, 101.
How to be a monkey. Yes.
How to be a monkey.
Fun fact about the 91st Monka: we are monkeys and we eat bananas
Yeah,
and sit
that's
in
the
trees.
running joke. Because I'm pretty sure, honestly, it's not just you, but I get my pockets raided by you people almost every time I'm at Ob. And I have like
Anytime
4
you
bananas
are
in my
unconscious
kit.
on the ground, we are going to monkey around you and steal all of your stuff.
It's like no, not even that. It's that like I'll be standing in line and waiting for like brief and stuff like that, and then I'll see 2 people from the like Monka come over, and then I just check my bag and I have like 4 bananas in my bag, and I'm like, oh, what the fuck is going on?
Damn right. I won't say it's
Yeah.
totally not me some days, but
I
you should
I
always
will-
make sure your backpacks aren't filled.
With bananas.
Yes.
Well, banana. Yeah, we got
That's-
scorched today. Fucking. we were
was
running with him
amazing.
for a while, and we got to a building. It was a really awful spot we were in, and then Scorch had
surrounded
the
by
idea. He
multiple
goes, "Oh
AAPs.
shit! Actually, I gotta check how many bananas I have in my bag." And I don't know who it was, but someone was putting stuff in his backpack as he was looking. He goes, "That doesn't count. You can't be putting it in my backpack when I'm looking." Because the running
Yeah.
gag is always, if you ever find Scorch or someone of high ranking, you've got to put the banana in the bag.
Banana bag. Banana in the bag. No, it's
And-
funny
and,
as shit.
this goes out to Kyber as well. If you ever do manage to get a screenshot of Scorch unknowingly having a banana in his backpack, you'll get a crisp high five from myself.
Yes. Yes.
I'm not encouraging you to run bananas in your backpack. Not encouraging you
Yeah,
to
every one of
have
you is
bananas
getting
in your
kid
kit
checked
at all
now.
because those are out of
Every
your
one
gap.
of you is getting
Yep,
kid checked.
Yep.
Every
No,
one of you
no,
is
no,
getting
DA,
kid
no
checked.
DA.
But
If
if
you
somehow,
do happen across a screenshot, I'm not telling
Theoretically.
you to put bananas in your kit because that's out of your
Right,
guide.
yeah.
But if you happen across a screenshot of Scorch with a banana in his backpack without knowing about it,
and you
get a
were the
crisp
one
high
that
five
might
from
have accumulated that screenshot from unknown sources. All of
just
you are
just
getting
DM
kid
it
checked.
to me.
Every
and
single one of you.
Just DM it to me. I got you.
That's fucking awesome.
Yes.
That's gold. Well, as we kind of round out what is about an hour, Tig, do you have anything to say? Do you have any words of wisdom from monkey leadership to the rest of the legs in the unit?
Remember that it's just a video game and keep having fun.
Yes.
Yeah, that's the biggest thing. Well,
Rewards.
everybody, I appreciate another good hour of listening. I love you all. I appreciate the support. If you would like, please, of course, ring that bell and give us a subscribe. And thank you, everybody.
Bye bye.